since we are a little bit ahead schedule, I will ask the final presenters. And this is a group of students from a Faculty of Philosophy in Zagreb, students of history, which made their own platform. And I think it's really beautiful things they done, and it deserves to be shown. So I will give floor to them now. Please, guys.
Yeah, hello. Hello, my name is Filip. I'm a history student from Zagreb, and today I'm going to tell you something together with my two colleagues about our project Bulwark of Europe. Bulwark of Europe is a project studying the early history of the Croatia and Slavonian military frontiers, covering the period from around 5050s to 5078, so 16th century at the moment. The aim of the project is to bring the history of military frontier to the wider audience in the interesting and interactive way. Currently, we have 7 people working on the project, all of us being history students or students of related fields. Our primary interest lies in creating interactive maps depicting the garrison size of individual fortresses. The maps are based on data found in the dozens of soap payrolls, listing the number of soldiers on Croatian and/or Slavonian military frontier. The website also features essays on frontier fortresses, accompanied by sketches and painting if possible, as well as statistics on the garrison side, which you hear from my colleagues. The project grew out of the model coordinated by Professor Natasha Stefanes, PhD. The model, entitled in English Introduction to Research Methods, solves students transcribe and analyze the earliest recorded military payroll, or in German Kriegsstadt, dated back to 5056 and written in black letter, or in German Deutsche Schrift. We have created an interactive map of military frontier as it was in 5056 using Google Maps, as well as a table systemizing the data found in the payroll. Project members have also written an introduction study on reconstructing the personal histories of the commander and some of the postmen. Our main goal is to make early modern history, which is often marginalized in Croatia, apart from some episodes as Zrinski-Frankopan conspiracy, more accessible to people. As we believe that public history, and especially digital history as part of digital humanities, is a future of historiography and generation of historians to come, our project is aiming to transform what is at first glance somehow boring sources to something interesting and interactive. On our website, you can find many digital maps we created in QGIS, as you can see on this slide, and digital maps on which, as you can see here on the example of Sigetvar or Siget, by pressing individual forts, you can see how many soldiers were in the fort in that year. We are also actively working on collecting and creating a database of historical sources and literature that can easily be available from our website. Based on whether the content is freely used under copyright legislation, we upload them directly on our website, or otherwise provide links to them on our website to other websites that hold rights to them. Finally, to tie to the beginning of our presentation, when I mentioned how everything started, we are working on transcribing and publishing archival sources, but sadly, because of current COVID situation, it made it impossible for us to go to Graz and research archive further. So there is only one example on the website, but of course, in the future, we hope to add at least a dozen of such sources to our website. As great part of our research and effort lies in 3D reconstructions of forts, as well as our activity on social media that is crucial for the popularization of our research, that part will now be presented by my colleagues, Karlo and Petar.
Hello everyone, I'm Karlo and I'm going to tell you something about the popularization of history through the project and its successes so far. So the project Facebook page has been active for about a year and a half now, and so far we have gained more than 3,000 followers. On the site, we regularly publish interesting episodes from Croatian and European early modern history, such as academic debate about military revolution or social and cultural life in military frontier. We also post some early modern sources, usually visual ones, which can be useful for educational purposes. All posts are written in both Croatian and English so that foreign audiences can get acquainted with Croatian history. It is interesting that most of our followers are actually foreign audiences. As you can see on the slide, we have followers all around the world. Because of the COVID-19 pandemics, social media was one of the main things in our current interest. So we recruited one more person on the project to work only on our Facebook page. So the internet and Facebook pages are very important for our popularization part of the project because of increasing importance and prevalence of social media in today's, let's say, internet world. Of course, we are aware that there is a certain danger in popularization to history as a science because some wrong or ideologically colored interpretations can occur, but history somehow simply must adapt to such conditions and thus to the popularization of itself. In addition to the Facebook page, other members of the project, my colleagues Filip and Petar, are active in historical reenactment. They participate in one of the military frontier regiments, and the purpose is, of course, the popularization of military history. Several scientific papers have emerged from the project. The first and maybe most important one is the first on the slide, the October-November 1556 military frontier payrolls, a contribution to the study of early military frontier history. But there are several others which you can see on the slide. Some works like Filip's work Illa ego Sclavonia ac unita Croatia tellus, the complexity of the term Slavonia in the Middle and early modern ages, has received the award for the best young historian paper of the Historical Institute of Croatia, and it should be very soon published in journal Pro Tempore. There are several interesting papers of Petar about archaeological findings in early modern history and so on. Finally, it should be noted that the project has received the Rector's Award for one of the best projects of humanistic sciences at University of Zagreb, and that we are still active on the internet and on our Facebook page. We are also currently preparing a presentation and exhibition of the project to be held at Cliofest. That is the bigger Croatian history manifestation. However, all further actions depends on the COVID-19 pandemic. You will now hear more about visualization part of the project from our colleague Petar.
Good day, everyone. I'm Petar Hegedić, a graduate student of History and Archaeology on Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, University of Zagreb. And my task today is to show you our further work on the visualization of the project. I will try to walk you through our current work and goals for the future. Our work began with the research of the Emilia Lashovsky Fund in Croatian State Archives. For those unfamiliar, he is a Croatian historian, archivist, and founder of many organizations and cultural institutions in Croatia. We were scanning the font for descriptions of buildings mentioned in the frontier payrolls, and if possible, their floor plans or drawings to showcase them on our website. We were not all that lucky, but I will show you a few examples. First examples that shows our workflow is finding a floor plan and historical drawing possibly depicting the Jastrebarsko fort, which is also mentioned in the payrolls. On this slide, you can see the scanned image of the floor plan and the drawing that we took in the archive. You can see the name Jastrebarsko written in the right bottom corner alongside the year. Based on these documents, we tried to make a 3D reconstruction of the fort, but as you can see, it did not turn out so well. The main problem were unrealistic ratios and a weird geometry of the said floor plan, which the model was based on. Here you can see what the 3D model looks like when loaded in the modeling program. A more successful endeavor was the reconstruction of the Konština fort, for which we had more historical, archaeological, and conservatory data. The fort is shown with the surrounding earthen fortification, moat, and the wooden bridges. Also, we applied the textures. The 3D models can be accessed on our website along with the article on the subject. The last example is somewhat different, as it is not a fort, but the model of the former cathedral of St. Stephen in Zagreb. The main focus was on fortification walls and the tower surrounding it, which no longer exists today. Here you can see multiple views of the model, including the indoor shot. And the last part of today's presentation is dedicated to future plans and goals of the project. Our primary plan is to find more resources and make more 3D models that will supplement the articles published on our website. This part was hard in the past year due to COVID restrictions in the archives, so we'll have to wait on that. We also aim to improve our 3D modeling skills so we can make better models in more sophisticated modeling programs, as we plan to bring our creations to life with the latest technologies. One of them is the use of 3D printing technology that is used for educational purposes. Also, we are currently a non-profitable students project. One of our major future goals is to establish a reliable source of income, as we will soon graduate and no longer be students under University of Zagreb. That is currently our only source of funding. Thank you for listening, and this concludes our presentation, and we hope you found it interesting. You can reach us on our social media and website for more information.
Thank you very much, and thank you for keeping in time. Actually,